everyone, welcome back to another Deltarune, get off, thank you, another Deltarune ranking video. This time, we're going to be ranking all the main Deltarune characters, and I don't gotta say spoilers for Chapter 5, because Chapter 5's been off for like a week, so we're good. All the major characters from Chapter 1 to Chapter 5, and any characters who are coincidentally a boss, they aren't going to be ranked by difficulty or anything, because I did the last video. They're just going to be ranked by how much I like the character. The factors are going to be design and personality, and how they interact with the characters, I guess. So, let's start with Chris. I like Chris. I really do like Chris. The whole thing they have with the bunker, their guilt about deaths, what was the therapy, they did something they regret because the therapist says where we make paintings and don't kill each other. So Chris, they do clearly have violent tendencies. They want to fit in as a monster because of the whole acting like a dog and the headband thing. And they had a save file in the Dark World before we put in our save file, so they've been to the Dark World before. And I think Chris is very, very interesting. So for that, I will put Chris as an amazing character. Susie. Now, this is where the three people who watch my videos are gonna get a bit upset at me, because I've never been the biggest fan of Susie. I just haven't. Like, she's by no means a bad character, not at all, but I just don't like her that much. She's kind of there for me. Of course, what she has is interesting, with the whole, like, with the fact that she was the one that revealed that monsters can bleed, which plays into the hometown butcher theory. But I'll make an entire episode about theories. We're just talking about characters here. But the fact that she bleeds, her mentorship with Gerson in Chapter 4, loved that. That was cute. Her little arc about wanting to be able to heal better, I liked that. I like that. Her entire character arc, from being just the bully to being a friend, was, I think it was executed well. And I'm coming to the words, and the fact that she was never actually a bully, just how people perceived her, so she just played into that. I think that was nice. I think it's a subversion of just, oh, this isn't who I actually am. Oh, that's basically what it is, but differently formatted and stuff. Sorry, hear any background noise? Don't have an actual background. I'm just using my computer. But Susie, I do think she still is a great character. Despite the fact that I'm not the biggest fan of her, not the most interested in her, I still can say that she is a great character. She's amazingly written. I'm not the biggest fan for Rouse. The whole not telling the whole truth thing, him struggling with that, the fact that he does not see himself as a person, just something that, as just an object that needs to serve others. I like that. I do like that about Rouse. I like his design. The whole pile of Azrael's dust theory that he caused in Chapter 1. That was funny. Now, do I think Rouse is evil? Dear Lord, no. Do I think he has other plans? Again, no. Just that what the story has told us, he just knows more than what he says he knows. And he even struggles with in Chapter 5 with the whole fire magic thing. But I do like the character arc. I do like that he is progressing as a person. I think I would put him with Susie and Great. Noelle. Ooh, boy, do I hate Noelle. I really do not like Noelle. Can I admit that about half of the reason I don't, not half, but like a third of the reason I don't like Noelle is just because I love Birdly, and literally every Birdly hater is a Noelle fan. Yes, I can admit that. So I'm not gonna put her too low, but God, could we focus on someone else? Other Lightners, please. Can we focus on Birdly? Could we focus on Toriel? Could we focus on Alphys or Sans or Alvin or... She's just taking up so much screen time when Birdly has not had shit since chapter 2. But that doesn't... that's just the reason I don't like her as much. She's a fine character. When she chats with Des, I like that. But that's... I don't like her that much, but I'm not gonna say her. I'm always put her in okay. She's I don't want people to... I don't care! I want fans to get mad at me! I don't give a shit. I hate Noelle! I hate Noelle's ass! Moving on. Birdly. For the longest time before I became obsessed with ERAM, Birdly was my favorite Deltarune character. He's so funny. The fact that he struggles with his... how to actually see himself as worthy, because he thinks it's just... oh, I'm only here because of Noelle. Noelle's the actual smart one. All these teenagers have so many mental issues. And I really like Birdly. His design, he's so cute. I love birds. Everybody hated him chapter 1. People have been starting to hate him less because of they're hating this guy more, which I'll get to sorry later. But I love Birdly. I love Birdly. He's funny. I love his dialogue. When I first played the game, even now, anytime he's on screen, I get happier. I just get happy. So Birdly is the first peak character. Toriel. Now, the reason I do not like Toriel is, I will admit, for personal reasons. The fact that I have caretakers and parents. My dad drank. My other guardians haven't really, I know they don't hate me. I know they like. Just that, it's personal reasons. I don't like Toriel. So I'm just gonna put her in and move on. Asgore. From chapter 1 to chapter 4, I did not really care much about Asgore. Ooh, bars. But chapter 5, he boosted up in the ranks to at least great. I do like Asgore. I really like Asgore. Like, the whole mystery surrounding Des. We all know that he just hit her with a scar, but I do think it is really fun to speculate and theorize what that's about, and why he has a black shard or a shadow crystal. Carol give it to him. Did Knight give it to... I think Knight gave it to him now. What's gonna happen to Asgore in chapter 6? I am glad Asgore got a lot more screen time in chapter 5 than Toriel did in chapter 3. I'm very happy about that. I love his design. I love that how he had his motifs from Undertale. I know, just... oh yeah, nostalgia! I just think it's really fun. I think it's really cool. I like it. Dear Lord. Only 9 minutes of this video. A few characters. It's gonna be a long video. Undyne. I'm replaying through Undertale. I replayed Undertale for the past few days, so I am gonna be more up my memories. The Undertale and Deltarune, not Toriel. The Undertale and Deltarune Undynes will collide a bit, but in Deltarune, she's literally just fucking Undertale Undyne, but with wearing a different uniform. And I do like Undyne. Undyne's a good character, an okay character. In Deltarune, she's just, yeah, had much time to shine. Her Dark World outfit is neat. We haven't seen her since chapter 3. That kind of weighs on her character, so I'll put her in. Okay. Alphys. Alphys is fine. The fact that other relationships, like between Asgore and Toriel and Undertale doesn't stay the same. The relationship, no, they're not the same. But so we do know, and I'm assuming Sans and Papyrus's relationship stayed the same. But Undyne's and Alphys's relationship did change. They barely know each other. Alphys likes Undyne, Alphys knows Undyne, but Undyne does not even know who Alphys is. And that is interesting to me. Very, very interesting. I doubt they're going to get together again, because that would be kind of boring. But I do think, since we do know that Alphys does care about Undyne in this version, I feel like she will play some sort of role in rescuing her. She does know about the bunker. I'm just saying stuff to say stuff. Alphys is not that important in Deltarune. She might help us with Undyne, maybe. I'm not sure. Sans? No. Pre-Chapter 5, I would have been Sans Ikira here. But now in Chapter 5, with all this stuff we know, I do think that raised him a bit. I think it's really cool. I think the theory that Deltarune and Sans are the same is really cool, because we know that monsters can bleed in Deltarune. Sans is the only monster to bleed in Undertale. So, I'm just going to copy a theory that I saw from someone else. I will link that theory in the description, but the theory I'm talking about, and of course Sans and Deltarune and they're all the exact same character, but that the roaring is the canon ending that happens. And Sans, he escapes. And it's basically confirmed. It's basically been, I don't think it's even a theory, I think it's just confirmed, because the 3 smiling people, with don't forget written on it, it's the one that Susie gave to Sans. It is in Sans's little special work office in his room. On his room in the back, where in the, I think, in the shed. I think it was in the shed. I think it is really cool. I love it theory. I love it so much. I was so hyped when it got confirmed. Basically confirmed. So yeah, Sans. I think all the stuff behind him, everything he surrounds, everything. I feel like the whole theory that him and Undertale and Deltarune are the same. I feel like pushed them to great. Alvin. I know I can't explain why, but I really, really like Alvin. I really like Alvin. And, he seems to know something about the bunker. Because when you ask him about it, he says, Chris, stay away from the bunker. Does he know about the dangers? Is he... I do feel like he knows something about the going-ons, the weird mysteries happening in Hometown. I do feel like he is more in the same boat as Asgore than it is with like Carol or Chris. But I do feel like he does know something. What is that something? I'm not sure, but he does know that the bunker is dangerous. I also like his character. I also like his character. I like his design. I like how his little miniature character arc in Chapter 5 was wrapped up. That was cute. I like that. And yeah, I think he's a great character. Amazing character. Now, Rudy. Rudy's fucking dead, bro! You Rudy Niners! You Rudy Niners are dead! Rudy's dead! But Rudy as a character, I think he's okay. I don't hate him. I don't like him too much. I'll put him in okay. I don't have that much to say about him. He seems like a great dad. He's nice, he's sweet. Yeah. Now the opposite. Carol's cool. Better or worse than Asgore. I think she's better than Asgore. Carol's cool. I like Carol. Dear Lord, I'm sorry. But Carol, I do like Carol. She's like kind of sort of the master behind everything, quote unquote. Sorry. And she knows about the Dark Worlds, probably. She knows about the Shadow Crystals. Is she the Knight, though? No, I do not think she's the Knight. Yeah, I will get to who I think the Knight is once we get to the Knight. But for now, I hope put her in great. I think she is cool. I think about how she knows about the mysteries. I think that is cool. I like her a lot. Moving on. Sham. He is rude in the way I say seem. Now, I don't know what it is. It's the same thing with Alvin, but I really do like Seam. Sham, what the hell? This whole mystery with... He probably knows the most about the Shadow Crystals more than anyone. Honestly. Because he's the one that tells us to collect them. He does know about some alternate reality stuff, because if you miss a Shadow Crystal... Okay, so if you get all the Shadow Crystals in one save, and the next save you don't get one, he says, hey, but somewhere else. You still have this. What is he going to make in Chapter 6? I'm so excited to find out. I like Sham so much. I love his design. He is the best shopkeeper ever so far. My opinion, of course. But yeah, I really like Sham. I love his relationship between Jevil. This was the original Spantana. Sham and Jevil was the original Spantana. It's big up there. You guys don't like what I say about Tana, but moving on, Lancer. Now, I do not love Lancer. Like, I'm not going to put him up here. But I do think he is an okay character. I think he's funny. There's not much more than that, but I think he's funny. Moving on. King. Now, lots of people say, oh, dang, it's just, I'm with people online, so watch out for that. If you don't know Jim, sorry, but people say that he is just evil, which cannot be further from the truth. He was screwed over by the Lightners. He literally says that he could not have hurt Lancer, even if he wanted to, which I do not think he wanted to. He obviously just wanted to scare the Lightners because he did not want to get hurt. And I think he is a complex character. Every chapter, we learn more and more about him, and I'm excited to see what we can learn more about him in Chapter 6, and hopefully maybe Chapter 7. 6 and 7, So for now, I'll just put him in great. Bottom of great. Rules card. Now, I've seen so much unwarranted hate for Rules card as of recent. I feel like it's the new cool thing is to hate on Rule's card. I just don't get it. Like, how do you hate Rule's card? I think it's funny. I think he's cool. I loved him in chapter 3 with El Nino El Nino. Yeah, I said that wrong so many times. In the bosses ranking. I love his design. I love his music soundtracks. Shame he wasn't in more in chapter 4 and 5, but I feel like he is. But I do feel like that since he is literally the Rule's guard, he can do anything. He can actually do anything. I do feel like that will play a bigger role later on. Oh, hi, Cam. Yeah, but that will play a bigger role. I'm calling it. He will be important. So for now, I will put him in. Okay, I like him. Jevil, the very secret boss. Probably the. Don't think about how difficult he is. Talk about his personality, which isn't really fair. Every other secret boss, except for you, that's not fair. But every other secret boss, like Gerson and Spampton, compared to Spampton, he gets so much less to do. Spampton had an entire ARG. He had all of that in chapter 3. All you get in Jevil is if you interact with one of his items, like in the Tenafy, he makes a sound. I don't feel like it's fair to Jevil. I hope he gets more. I'm not sure he will, so I'll just put him in there. That's harsh, but it's not really other place to put him. Queen is hilarious. Queen is so funny. She's great. I want to talk about the universal mom theory, that she is related to everyone's mom. With Chris, she does seem that she cares about Chris, but is just not aware of her problem, of their problem. Sorry. She's kind of brash with Susie, which I do feel like that is what her parents are like, because in chapter 3 where Rouse is talking about, it's revealing to Susie what dark years actually are. There's a room with a dinosaur poster on it, and a bed frame, and a chair, which I do feel like is her actual house in the apartments. And is one reason I'm praying this theory isn't real, because she is just negligent beyond belief to Burley. And since we've never seen his parents in the weird room at all, from chapter 2 to chapter 4, we haven't seen, or maybe also to chapter 5. I'm not sure if you can go to the hospital in chapter 5 weird room. I haven't actually played it yet, but she's funny. She's cool. I like her. She's amazing. Swatch. I'm gonna be honest. It took until my second playthrough. I thought on my first playthrough, and I actually saw him. I thought it was just like a fan character, like an OC, but he's real. I like his design. I cannot really rank him in good faith. I do not really know that much about his personality. But I just think he's fine. I think he's okay. So I'll just put him in okay. Spampton. I love Spampton. The whole cut and strings thing, his lore, his relationship with Tenna. What turned him? We don't know it's Tenna's fault, but who was he talking on the phone with? We don't know. The mystery surrounding him, I think, is really cool. So, for all that, I will put Spampton. He will be the second peak character. Moving on to Tenna. I do not like Tenna at all. He's annoying. He fucks over all my favorite characters like Patat and Spamton. And his design is great. I love his design. I love TV characters. His personality is just not the greatest. And when the Roaring Knight chopped off his arms, I cheered, I clapped, I was going hip hip hooray every time I played. Ram. Actually, I will talk about Tenna more. I'm sorry to the Tenners. I will talk about him more. I'm gonna have to go through, make sure it's taking up a lot of storage, but he does know Chris. He did, as like, because when you ask Spamton about the night, he's about to talk about it, and then goes, Chris, wait, I'm sorry, you know, like the screen cuts. And then Tenna, in the off the beaten path, in the third S rank room, he does say that about something with something about a deal that he made with Chris, something to so he can stay on. He just stuff about Chris, and it is a interesting mystery. Of course, he is better than Noel. But that's just not going to put him up that high, I'm afraid. Ram, out of all, is probably my favorite character in Chapter 3. My favorite Dark Knight Chapter 3. Except for you, of course, my lovely me. It was pretty okay. I do like how he kind of like encourages, because we do know Chris did have violent tendencies, and it feels like Ram encourages that, because he lets Chris play the other games in the S rank room, to where you just hurt everything and kill everything. And I feel, even though I'm not Ram, I do feel like the not being in character for a second, I do feel like the parallels between Ram and E-Ram are cool. I do not think Ram is E-Ram though. He is frozen and dead and gone when you get to the E-Ram boss. And I do feel like it would be an in-character thing for him to do, because he watched Chris play. He's encouraging all this. So if he wasn't dead, I feel like it is something he would do. Moving on to E-Ram, my baby, my baby E-Ram. I love them. It's me. Of course, I have to rank me high. But it is cool with the whole E-Ram knows about the weird route. No, did you enjoy yesterday knowing you could say you did all that, but it wasn't really you? All the parallels that he has with the weird route, how he connects with the games. I feel like that's cool. I like his design, I like his soundtrack, I like everything about them. Of course, they're going E-Rams here. Gerson. I love Gerson. The mentorship between him and Susie is cute. I already said that, but reiterating, I just think it's cute. I like his design. The fact that he is apologetic. He feels terrible. He feels bad that he was not there in Alvin's life. And how I do like the little tie-in between them. How he makes the letter, and then he gives it to Susie. She writes it, and then Alvin sees it. I do think it's cute. That didn't make me shed a tear when I first got to Alvin in Chapter 5. But I do really like Gerson. I like how he was already gone, how he couldn't go insane from the Shadow Crystal. I do feel like that's really... I do feel like that's cool. Moving on to... I'm gonna have to speed through this, I'm sorry, but it's just taking too much storage. Jackenstein. He's funny. I like Jackenstein. Not much else to say. I'll put him in okay. Flowery, amazing character. All the characters in Chapter 5 are so good. They're so good. He's one of my favorites. Pete character, amazing. I love his soundtracks. I love his voice lines. I love his intro. I love everything about him. Aqua, she's funny. She's cute. She's funny. I already said she's funny, but I do like her. I like her a lot. She can also go in. She can go in amazing. Seth, I like Seth. I think she's funny. Later on in the year, I will update the tier list when I play Chapter 5 again, because I've only played it once, so my memory is not the greatest. So, Seth, you can go in great. Green, we all love green. Green's cute. They're nice. They're great. So I put them in great. Orange. If not for orange, you wouldn't have this peak secret boss. So just for that, orange, you would also go in great. Yellow. Yellow's probably of all the Chapter 5 characters in my top 3. It goes Flowery, Aqua, Yellow. Yellow's funny. His relationship with Blue is adorable. I love that. The friend inside me theory was basically confirmed. I love that. That's cool. And yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Also, another thing about the flowers, I do like how they tie into the souls, but aren't exactly the souls. Like, they're basically if the souls had personalities, because Justice's attack in Undertale was a gun. I don't remember you. But, the green soul's attack were eggs. The blue soul attack were ballet shoes, etc., etc. Blue, I like Blue. I again, his relationship is really cute. I'll put him in great also. Mew. Now, again, as a transformation myself, I'm pretty sure I already talked about her enough in the other video, so I'll just put her in amazing and move on. The Roaring Knight. Now, who do I think the Roaring Knight is? I think the Roaring Knight is their own character. Now, I know shit take, but that's just what I think. That's what I think. The Death Knighters, fuck you. The Rude Knighters, fuck you. The Carry Knighters, fuck you. So the Roaring Knight, their design is great. Their music is great. I do wish he had more screen time in Chapter 5, because they had a good amount of screen time in Chapter 4. But I do wish he just got a bit more screen time in Chapter 5. They took Asgore, that's cool. They killed Flowery, so they clearly don't just and kill people that stand in their way, or kill people that betray them. He just he could have just they could have outsped Flowery. So I feel like they just it shows that they're just evil. I feel like we already knew that, but I don't know. I'm just talking more about the Roaring Knight because they're important. So I'll talk about Roaring Knight because the next video I'm gonna make is gonna be a theory video. So for now, I put them in Pete character and move on. Who the hell is this? Who are you? Whatever. Des, the whole mystery behind Des is great. I think it's cool. Like, what happened to her? Is she actually still alive? Is she the girl lost in the code? Is she the knight? I don't think she is, but is she? Other mysteries behind her, cool. I'll put her in great. And finally, W.D. Gaster. I'm working on an entire video about Gaster, so I'll keep my feelings about him brief. But literally all the mysteries surround him. And that is amazing. That is cool. I love Gaster. I hyperfixated on Gaster for like a month. So, Gaster, Pete character. I'll reorder these tiers a bit. Do I gel a bit more? I like Lancer more. I do like a Rudy more than you do. I'd say I like Rudy more than Lancer. I like King more than you guys. You're the worst and great. Can move to Tad. But, you're a bit better, yeah. I feel like okay. I feel like the rest of this is fine. It's just another fun video. I like making these here. I like the next one. It's gonna be a theory video, so be ready for that. It's actually gonna be edited, so it's actually gonna take a minute for me to make. And it's gonna be edited on my phone, so you don't have to see all this shit. So, bye everyone. Have a good, however the rest long of your day is. If you're watching this right before you sleep, when you wake up, have a nice time. Goodbye.